All right, folks, good day, everybody. If I look kind of disheveled, that's because I am disheveled. I'm just getting up. I was up till 4 a.m. last night on making videos, so I slept in quite late today. I think I slept till 1, and I felt horrible even when I woke up. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty good now, though. But this is a different kind of a video. I know that I keep promising everybody that my next 55 years is going to be 100 times better than my first 55 years. So this is, and in the spirit of that promise, I also often say that whatever goal you want to accomplish, you should make it a really big goal, because progress is by percent, not by count. So in other words, in my case, one of the things I'm working on at the moment is the goal of being able to do 200 push-ups, right? So I can do 31 right now. And then when I do get a bump from that number to the next number, at the moment, it's, it's one. It's one push-up, right? Wow, I really look bad, right? But I just woke up, so anyway, whatever. But the thing of it is that one is 1/31st of the total. So anyway, you get the idea. So this is a book that my son gave me. It's called The One Thing, because he knows I have trouble focusing. So that's not really why he gave me the book. He just gave me the book because he thought it was a good book. And I agree that it's a good book. I've read it twice so far. I'm reading it for the third time. So this chapter 2, is called The Domino Effect. And I want to read it to you. It's only like, is it 3 pages? Something like that. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages, but 3 of the pages are half pages. So whatever that works out to be, right? The domino effect. Here, let me give you the picture one more time, because I think I went too fast the first time. Okay? So there you go. All right, the domino effect. I don't know how to say this word. It's a city in the Netherlands. Leeuwarden, the Netherlands, on Domino Day, November 13, 2009, Weiger's Domino Productions coordinated the world record domino fall by lining up more than 4,491,863 dominoes in a dazzling display. And I'm going kind of fast because I want this to be a short video. In this instance, a single domino set in motion a domino fall that cumulatively unleashed more than 94,000 joules of energy, which is as much energy as it takes for an average-sized male to do 545 push-ups. Hey, look at that, push-ups and push-ups. How do you like that? Each standing domino represents a small amount of potential energy. The more you line up, the more potential energy you've accumulated. Line up enough, and with a simple flick, you can start a chain reaction of surprising power. And Weiger's Domino Productions proved it. When one thing, the right thing, is set in motion, it can topple many things, and that's not all. In 1983, Lorne Whitehead wrote in the American Journal of Physics that he'd discovered that domino falls could not only topple many things, they could also topple. This is where it starts to get cool. They could also topple bigger things. He described how a single domino is capable of bringing down another domino that is actually 50% larger. Woo, excuse me. Dominoes, a geometric progression. So here's an illustration. So you can see the first domino is the size of a domino, and if you go 50% bigger every time, where I can't read it in the camera, by the time you get to the 18th domino, you have something that will be knocked over, that has enough energy to knock over the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The 23rd is the Eiffel Tower. The 31st is Mount Everest, and the 57th is a domino that's as tall as the moon. So this is a very interesting and severe, extreme elaboration on the principle that progress in anything, finances, physical ability, and I would have to assume also intellectual ability and even spirituality, is by percentage and not by count. So 50% is obviously a really big percent, right? So anyway, this is just illustrative. It's just illustrative. I mean, if you can improve your ability in any given task by 50% every day, then by the end of the month, you're going to be like the ruler of the universe. So obviously, we're not talking about improving our abilities or our holdings, financial holdings, or whatever, by 50% a day. We're talking about, like in my case with push-ups, we're talking about 1/31st. What is that? 3%? Yeah. So 3% every, say, maybe 2 weeks, or to be more conservative, say 3% every month, right? But the point is, it's by percentage and not by count. Okay, so do you see the implications? Let me back up a little bit. In 1983, Loren Whitehead wrote in the American Journal of Physics that he discovered that domino falls could not only topple many things, that he could also topple bigger things. He described how a single domino is capable of bringing down another domino that is actually 50% larger. Do you see the implication? Not only can you knock over others, but also others that are successively larger. In 2001, a physicist from San Francisco's Exploratorium reproduced Whitehead's experiment by creating 8 dominoes out of plywood, each of which was 50% larger than the one before. The first was a mere 2 inches. The last almost 3 feet tall. The resulting domino began with a gentle tick and quickly ended with a loud slam. So San Francisco Exploratorium reproduced 8 dominoes. Okay, so 8 dominoes. The first one was 2 inches. The 8th one was 3 feet. Okay, there you go. So I guess by the time you get to 18, you got the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You go from 3 feet to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay. I want to interject here something real quick too. Is that one time I was on unemployment, and when I was on unemployment, they made us take this financial class. I went and took this class. The guy was really cool. He was a veteran who was stationed in his younger days in Alaska, and he was just a lowly whatever guy, enlisted or whatever. And his commanding officer, or whatever his boss was called, came in and said, "Hey, whatever your name is, Bobby, I want you to sign up for this financial program." It sounded like his commanding officer was like an A.L. Williams guy or something, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of the impression that I had. So he said he was new, he was young, he was a kid, he didn't know, he was scared of his commanding officer, so of course he signed up for it. And they started making deductions from his paycheck. And he said at the beginning it was just whatever. I mean, he just ignored it for like the first 2-3 years. He didn't even pay any attention to it. He'd just see the deduction on his paycheck and he'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then one day, after about 4 years, he went to look in there and he's like $12,000. He's like, oh, well, that's a little bit of money. It's pretty, kind of in a way, a little bit cool. It's not like a lot of money, but it's a little bit of money, right? And but then he said, at some point in time, not long after the 12,000 years. So the point is, you go from 0 to nothing, in a long period of time, like let's just say 3 years, right? Like from 1 to 18, you go from a domino to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or from 1 to 5, you go from a domino to something the size of a shoebox. It's not exciting, and it kind of takes a long time anyway. So it takes long. It's not exciting. But like he said, when he got $50,000 in the bank, it became really exciting, because it's the old story: the rich get richer and the poor get poor, and it's not a matter of justice; it's a matter of mathematics, right? Because a percentage on top of a percentage is cumulative, So I thought that was a pretty cool story that guy told. So, and I was very happy that I took the class, because I don't think I'll ever forget that story. So here we go. Imagine what would happen. Okay. The resulting domino fall began with a gentle tick and quickly ended with a loud slam. Imagine what would happen if this kept going. If a regular domino fall is a linear progression, Whitehead's would be described as a geometric progression. And that's it. That's a cumulative improvement. The result could defy the imagination. The 10th domino would be almost as tall as NFL quarterback Peyton Manning. By the 18th, you're looking at a domino that would rival the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There you go. That's impressive, The 23rd domino would tower over the Eiffel Tower, and the 31st domino would loom over Mount Everest by almost 3,000 feet. So they're actually talking about the height of the domino, not what the domino can knock over. I misstated that previously. Number 57 would practically bridge the distance between the Earth and the Moon, and this is the last page. So when you think about success, shoot for the moon. The moon is reachable if you prioritize everything and put all of your energy into accomplishing the most important thing. Getting extraordinary results is about creating a domino effect in your life. Toppling dominoes is pretty straightforward. You line them up and tip over the first one. In the real world, though, it's a bit more complicated. The challenge is that life doesn't line everything up for us and say, quote, here's where you should start, unquote. Highly successful people know this. So every day they line up their priorities anew, find the lead domino, and whack away at it until it falls. Why does this approach work? Because extraordinary success is sequential, not simultaneous. What starts out linear becomes geometric. You do the right thing and then you do the next right thing. Over time it adds up and the geometric potential of success is unleashed. The domino effect applies to the big picture like your work or your business, and it applies to the smallest moment in each day when you're trying to decide what to do next. Success builds on success, and as this happens over and over, you move toward the highest success possible. When you see someone who has a lot of knowledge, they learned it over time. When you see someone who has a lot of skills, they developed them over time. When you see someone who has done a lot, they accomplished it over time. When you see someone who has a lot of money, they earned it over time. The key is over time. Success is built sequentially. It's one thing at a time. Okay, so we're at 11 minutes now. I'm trying to go fast. This guy's emphasis is a little bit different, but we're both talking about the same thing. He's talking about time and sequence. I'm talking about progress by percentage as opposed to count, which is a different way of saying geometric progression, right? So there was something I wanted to say, and I forgot what it was now, so I should probably just stop talking, and thank you for watching the video. I hope you liked it. Bye-bye.